Having a conversation, me specifically, one-on-one with the Navy transfer and current BYU linebacker Pepe Tanuvasa, who is very, very well-spoken, very smart, and very sincere in his commentary. We discussed everything from Halloween to what is it like defending against Zach Wilson in practice. Pepe Tanuvasa one-on-one on the Deseret First Credit Union Hotline.
Pepe, first and foremost, happy Halloween week. What are you doing to celebrate? Because you're going to be playing football on Saturday night when the actual trick-or-treating is playing.
You know what? I have left all the Halloween planning up to my wife. And so she's kind of taking the head on that, on what we're dressing up for Halloween. I'm not quite sure. I just follow instructions and put on whatever she has set up for me.
So I asked your teammate Neil Pau what he would do if he could dress up in a costume and play the game, and he ultimately settled on his pajamas. Just he wanted to be relaxed. What about you? If you could play football at the Division I level but in a costume, which way are you going with that?
You know what? I've always appreciated the Jabberwockies. They're a dance group, and one of the things I love about their style is the swag that they have on their shoes. And especially me and my wife, we love sneakers. And I think that would what I would want to play in. Maybe it wouldn't be the most effective, but it would look good.
To a lot of people, that's what matters most, Pepe. Don't you know it? Okay, you're a sneaker guy. Okay, so what are you going with? Are you rocking some J's? Are you going to go with some Yeezys? What are you doing?
You know, I'm a big fan of the Jordan 1s, and keeping it basic, can't go wrong with those.
Just make sure they're the royal and blue and black edition, right?
Of course.
Okay. Now, on to things that perhaps matter most to some people that are watching this show, the actual football. You take on Western Kentucky this Saturday night in hopes of going 7-0 for the first time since 2001 at BYU. What do you know about the Hilltoppers thus far?
You know what? We are really just trying to not take them for granted. We see them as a great team, as a great opportunity again to come out and play our best. And so, looking forward, we see them, they play a lot of 11, 12 personnel. And so, just trying to scheme for that personnel, as well as, anything else that they can throw at us. Texas State coming out in a bunch of different formations, kind of trying to prepare for that.
Yeah, what was that like as a team competing against just some weird stuff last Saturday night against Texas State with the Dappy Duck formations or whatever they're calling that?
Mm-hmm. It was a little bit strange to see, but, they're a great team. They have great athletes. And so after the first drive, our coaches are amazing, and we're able to scheme up a really good defense to help stop that, which we ended up doing, which I think is just going to be key for this next game, is to rely on our coaches and, just our talent and our effort to really pick up the slack for anything we can't prepare for because we can't see.
Pepe Tanuvasa with us on BYU Sports Nation. Western Kentucky presents just the next challenge, and everybody's looking ahead. Now, it's your responsibility and job as an athlete to focus on the next practice, the next rep, the next play, the next opponent. But there's that game out there with Boise State looming. So how do you avoid any potential pitfall against Western Kentucky?
You know what? I think I fall back to my training at Navy. Everything while I was at the Naval Academy, life was just so busy that I had to take it one day at a time. And so really that's got me into a great mindset for, busy times like this or stressful times when, there is a big game moving ahead, but there's even a bigger game, and that's this week. And so that's helped me a lot.
You bring up the Navy, and quite a few of our viewers are somewhat familiar with your story and how you eventually ended up at BYU. But for those that don't know, walk us through a brief timeline of how you ended up in Provo and are playing now on the 11th ranked team in the country.
Okay. I graduated from Tigard High School in Portland, Oregon, and then I served a mission in Tampa, Florida. Afterwards, I went to Naval Academy, and I played there for 2 years. And after my second season there, I just had this feeling that I needed to be somewhere else, which was a really strange feeling because things were going great. You know, football was awesome, school was great, the military life I was loving, but I just felt that God needed me elsewhere. And you know, I took the leap of faith and I transferred. I didn't really know where I was going to go, but I know eventually that I wanted to come here to BYU. And now I know why, you know, getting to play with, you know, my brothers here on this team, but especially, you know, meeting my now wife, who is the love of my life.
And you just scored some serious points, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and clip that segment off, that little bit off, so that you can show it to your wife later. You're welcome.
Okay, sounds good.
And Coach Satake obviously is thrilled to have you on the team. What was the initial reception from he and the staff when you said, hey, I want to play at BYU?
You know, I came at a weird time just after the season, after the recruiting season. And so I wasn't, you know, there wasn't really a spot for me at the time. I really had to earn my way onto the team, and then spend my redshirt year, my redshirt year sitting out because I transferred on the scout team. And so I just really tried to take that day by day again, because it could be disheartening knowing what I could be doing, my potential. But I just really tried to play my role in helping, you know, our team prepare for the next opponent and, you know, wait for my opportunity to show what I have.
12 total tackles for you this season, a couple of pass breakups, and most importantly, 6 wins for you and the BYU Cougars. As you prepare for Western Kentucky, you're hoping for number 7. Where do you feel like this team has improved the most from game number 1 against your former team, the Naval Academy, to where you are now?
I think the relationship between offense and defense is incredible. You see a lot of teams when there are turnovers on offense, or when, you know, there are big drives on defense that the other team goes down and scores, that the other side kind of gets down on them. But that's not the case here. You know, when there are big turnovers, like the fumble last game, deep in the red zone, you know, the defense was all over it. You know, we were just excited to play and excited to give, you know, another opportunity to shine. And so it was vice versa when, after the first drive, when Texas State drove down and scored on us, we were a little bit down, but the offense picked it right up, you know, so that they got us. And they did, you know, they went down and scored that next drive, which gave us a lot of confidence.
Playmakers clearly on both sides of the ball at BYU. Specifically tonight, your quarterback, Zach Wilson, was featured on the College Football Playoff Show, featuring the likes of ESPN's Kirk Herbstreit, Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock, and had a really nice interview. When you look at Zach Wilson, and you're trying to describe to somebody that hasn't defended against him, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Because you got to face him in practice. So how do you explain that?
I would say poised. You know, facing him in practice, he adjusts very, very well. One of the things linebackers at BYU pride ourselves in is reading quarterback's eyes and adjusting to where he's looking to throw. And he's gotten so much better at looking us off right before he sneaks a curl right behind us. And frankly, it's a little bit annoying in practice, but it's you know, it's paying dividends in the game. You know, you see the numbers don't lie on what he's been able to accomplish, especially with the likes of our great offensive line, which gives them the time to make all those plays.
Hey, you're right. The numbers don't lie. And they have BYU as one of the best offenses in the country right now. And, of course, the 11th or 10th ranked team, depending on which poll you're looking at. But, again, we're trying to take this with a grain of salt and not read too much into it as a player. As the hype grows, as the national attention grows. I mean, for crying out loud, we just talked about the show that BYU was featured on tonight on ESPN. How are you handling this? What do you do to stay even keel?
You know what? Luckily, I have a heavy course load for school, and so there's not much else to think about other than midterms this week, and taking care of my wife and being a husband first. That keeps me pretty down to earth.
Good answer, man. Good grief. The Naval Academy prepared you well for pretty much everything, right?
I like to think so.
Well, Pepe, it's great to catch up with you, man. Before you go and take on Western Kentucky and continue those preparations, we'll give you some BYU Sports Nation karma. If you're not familiar of how this works, basically you get it, and even though you're already set to play well with all your preparation, it'll give you that extra boost against Western Kentucky. So mark it down. The BYU
Sounds
Sports
good.
Nation karma. It's going to make a difference this week. Thanks for the time,
Well, thank
man.
you. Thank you.